Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get to this intro for reals though. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put the notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. I appreciate the support. Well, here we go again. Here we go. Right. For those that don't remember that song by Portrait, it's an old school throwback. Tap in. Here we go again, man. You know, I don't really like to discuss this individual, but we're going to discuss him today. Right? Because there's times when you watch YouTube, you know, I'm a fan of YouTube. I like watching YouTube videos, man. Sometimes I don't have the time to do it. But when I do have the time, you know, I'd rather have dos X. I like to kick back, trip out, and see what pops up on the YouTube scene, on the YouTube yada, right? And a video pops up of Renegade Media. Okay, and I know there's a lot to be said about this guy, man. I know right now, man, he's on the radar. Antennas are up, man. And there's a lot of people, whether you love him or hate him, he's still going to be there. He's still going to be there till he isn't. I think we all are, right? But I've already expressed how there's certain things that he talks about, man. I'm just like, wow. You know, for his own safety and security, I wish he wouldn't, but he does. And, you know, I don't like the fact of jeopardizing other people's freedoms and all that, but it is what it is. We're not even going to go there. We're going to go here. When you talk about things that I know about personally, places I've been, county jails, prisons, functioning as a Norteño, right? I know the politics. I know the get down. I know what was real and what wasn't. I know all that. So when you try to convince people that don't know no better and place yourself or paint yourself as some type of shot caller and just fucking just tell a fucking fabricated fake story like I've never heard in my life, I got to address it. I got to be like, hey, bro, stop it already. Look, enough is enough. Okay, enough is a fucking enough. You know, you can go feed that bullshit to people that like shit, but myself, it's not even exposing, it's just keeping it real. Like, okay, bro, that story I call bullshit, bullshit. I watched a story that popped up the other day where Renegade Media is talking about when he was an active shot calling, high-powered, had all the status Norteño, right? Not a Northerner. There was a difference back then. Norteños and Northerners, there was a big difference, right? This guy just skipped over Northerner. He just never was that. He just went straight to Norteño because, you know, for whatever reason, he had it like that. And, you know, I watched another video too, also by, again, John Diesel, who, of course, man, me and him don't see eye to eye on a lot of shit. But I respect him, though. I respect the fact that, man, he's been around. You know, there's no denying that, man. We were in the youth authority together. You know, his name's been ringing bells out there in them Oakland streets for a minute since he's been up in it. So that's just how that is. But he also did a video, man, speaking on Renegade Media, 559J, and kind of broke down his time and how long, you know, that it was feasibly possible that he could have been on the general population yard, the main line. Again, like I always say, prison is prison. Doesn't matter to me what side you're on, what yard you're on, and how active you were or you were not. But when you proclaim to be a shot caller in every yard you touched and this high-powered gangster, man, people are going to start calling into question, just like they did Wes Watson, just like they do other content creators that talk about prison. How long were you really there where it counted, right? Because when you go to the other side, it does not count anymore. I don't give a fuck if you're a dropout gang member. I don't care. None of that counts. And so John Diesel did actually very good video, you know, kind of breaking down the time that he believes Jay Hans was on the main line, which came down to pretty much 2 years, and the rest was either on an SNY yard or was out of state. It's whatever, right? But I appreciated the video. But I watched Jay's video, and he was talking about when he was a Norteño shot caller. Now, the word shot caller has always baffled my mind, you know, because that is not a word. That's not a phrase used in real life. Anyone who's been on a 180 yard, a 270 yard, level 3, 4s on up, it's, you never heard the word shot caller. That's actually disrespectful. You know, if you were to sit there and say shot caller, that means, yeah, you're calling shots. Look, we understand as gang members when we're locked up in prison that there are people of status. There are people that are above you. You are going to take fucking, you know, they're going to shoot you a wheelie. You're going to listen or else. Those are considered in your mind shot callers, but it's never spoken about. You're never going to hear someone describe themselves as a shot caller. That's why when Wes Watson and people like Jay, when they use them words to describe their time and who they were and their status, it's weird. It's like, what do you mean shot caller, bro? This ain't a fucking movie. This ain't Hollywood. This is real life. But anyways, as he was this self-proclaimed shot caller, this king of the yarda, he said that he was looking at norteños' assholes. Now, let me explain to you. I've done time in Stanislaus County, not too long, just overnighter. Done time in Santa Clara County. Done time in Merced County. Did time in Sacramento. A lot of northern strongholds, a lot of facilities that housed a lot of norteños. And that means I've been out into those little group yards. That means I had to go through the proper procedures and protocols to get cleared and then go out there to them yards, right? And never, you know, I'll say this, out of all those yards, and I give respect to all those different county jails, but I believe, and I'm not just saying this because this is where I'm from, but in Merced, it was like way past up to par, right? And I remember going out to these yards, and in Merced County, let me describe it to you. It's like a big giant cage outside, and then there's a door, you know, a cage door, and then there's another cage that you go through. So there's basically two big giant cages connected. And as a norteño, I remember when we were like really functioning, you would walk outside, and of course, the way we had it, you had to have your shirt off over your shoulder, just in your boxers, because that's how you went to the yard. Some vatos would wear 2 pairs of boxers if you were able to wiggle some, right? And then, of course, you had your shoes on, your socks. And as soon as you would go out there would be 2 homeboys that were posted up. They would be poste, and they'd be at that gate. And of course, the cops would, you know, kind of strip search you out before you went to the yard. That was proper protocol anywhere you go. And then as you walk out there, the Northerners want to see a quick, make sure you don't have no razors, no pedazos, no RVs, nothing like that on you. That could possibly be a safety and security threat to the righteous, active homeboys that are out there. Because you never know when someone's going to go renegade on you. You never know when someone's going to just fucking cat out and just get off and injure another homie. And the fact was that, you know, all norteños were in unison. They were in branch and union. They were one. So it was like, if you were not supposed to be having a piece on you, then you weren't going to have one. And if you were caught with one and those that needed to know didn't know about it, then you were considered a bandito. It was a threat. So anyways, you would walk through these gates and you'd have to do the quick look around your waist, man. Let the homies know you don't got a piece on you. Line up on the wall, get to fucking running your laps, machina time. That's just how it went. After that, you get a little 10 minutes to yourself with the homies to play basketball. If fucking the homie that's running the workout, the machine doesn't go to the yard recall, right? That's what I've always been used to. And it was pretty much the same in every county jail. There was a few different variations, but there was never a homeboy making you squat and cough. There was never a Northerner wanting to look all the way into your fucking esophagus from the back. There was never any of that. You know, if you were gangster enough to fucking push something all the way up to your fucking small intestine and take it out there, well, fuck, you deserve it, eh? You know, fucking, hey, more power to you. I see this video that Jay does, and he says as a norteño shot caller, he made it. Him. Now, it wasn't a Mando thing. He took it upon himself because he just had that much juice. It was him. To make it mandatory, he used to make homeboys bend over, squat and cough, cavity searches, all kinds. Like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? You really chose on your yard time, rather than doing burpees and facilitating messages and handling business and doing your cuenta and doing what the fuck you were supposed to do. Instead, you chose to be the one big homie to look up everybody's backside. That sounds like a volunteer mission. It doesn't sound like a mandatory mission. That sounds like something like, hey, homie, we're going to need you to run machina today. We're going to need you to be posted. We're going to need you to get the count. What do you want to do, Jay? I'll look at the assholes. All right, then you can look at the asshole. Look, never, ever, and the whole time that I've been down is a homeboy going to tell you to squat and cough. That's police activities. That's PC weird shit activities. You only learn that, I don't know what prison you learned that in, right? But it's definitely not any prison I've been. Look, the cops are doing their job. Yes, That is proper procedure. Yes, if you've been locked up, man, you've squatted and you've coughed a couple times. Every once in a while, there's a cop that makes you cough a few more times, and you look back at him like, bro, don't go there. But for Norteños to do that, I'm going to tell you what it is with this guy. First of all, that's a lie. That's a blatant outright lie. And it's weird that you would even tell that lie because it makes you seem like a suspect. It makes you almighty suspect. It's kind of weird, right? But even more than weird, it's foolish. It's foolish to sit there and spread false propaganda and try to belittle active Norteños because you're upset with their program. You know, to sit there and say, yeah, man, I used to have to do this and this shit was stupid and this fucking was dumb and I didn't like doing this. Keep that shit to yourself, bro. Hey, if you didn't like doing it, why'd you do it in the first place? You know, there's a difference between people that get disgruntled and they get upset with the cause, or they get disillusioned, or they see it for what they believe it is. And then they say, you know what? I'm out of here, Ray. I'm out of here. The first time there's something, man, I'm going to get off and then I'm going to lock it up. Or they say, you know what? Fuck this, man. I'm going to get off right now and I'm going to go out on my shield, or whatever. However they choose to get on because they're disillusioned with the fucking what's going on with their cause, right? But for someone who got removed, right? That means they weren't ready to go. They got snatched up out of there. It seems like you were enjoying looking at asshole if that's what you were doing. Like, you know, the smell, the taste, you know, all that, all the way up until the point you got stabbed and they said you can't smell asshole no more. I don't believe it, man, because as an active Norteño when I was, right, I could tell you guys that never happened. Like, there would never, ever, ever, if a homeboy did that, he would have got removed. I don't give a fuck what his status was. If there was a fucking homie that came onto the fucking prison, he had some status, and he said, okay, we're going to change things up now. I'm going to look at your asshole. No, you're not. No, you're not, buddy. Like, there's some things I will sacrifice for the cause, like time, blood, effort, but smelling my caca is not one of them. Okay, we do that enough in the cell that we don't need to do it on the yard as well. There'd be a gang of people on the yard laughing like, God damn, Norteño, I knew they were militant, but fuck, that's different. That, man, they went straight from fucking Excelsior to Castro quick, right? Nah, it ain't gonna happen. Look, this is what it is. The guy likes to fabricate stories and make it seem like he was applying pressure to people, when in all true honesty, man, the cool part about it is it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, but you have someone who I believe his whole mission at this point in his life is not only to make money, because I think we're all in YouTube to make money to some degree, right? But even more than that is to basically talk shit about gangs and try to put bad jackets and clown them. Look, man, I understand I'm not an active gang member. I understand the goods and the bads with a gang. And there are some goods. You know, there are some goods, man. You know, if you're not raised around, if you got a fucked up home life, man, you can go out in the streets and there are people there, man, that will embrace, show you, give you a place to stay, lay your head. But every good thing comes with a bad thing. Nothing's for free. You might be able to sleep on the homeboy's couch for a few days, but Sasuke, when he wants to get up and go put in some work, you're expected to join him. So whatever comes with that comes with that. These are the expectations that are not told to you, but everyone should know. You got to have fucking common sense when you're in the gang. So yeah, there's some good things and some bad things, and the bad outweighs the good. We all know that by now, anyone who's really been involved. But this guy, Jay, is highly upset with gang members. Like, he fucking hates them. He hates them so much, he followed them today. Now, close your mouth, because you cold busted. You was looking at assholes. Sit down here. We're so disgusted with you, we don't know what to do. My first impulse was to run up on you and do a Rambo, but I didn't want to fucking stop you from looking at that asshole, right? Hey, look, I don't know how that story helped anyone quit gangbanging that day, but it definitely scared some people into submission. You know, they're like, damn, bro, so you mean I got to go out there and kill people and put in work just to go out there and sniff fucking anus? Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be a crit. Fuck that, right? You know what I mean? They don't do that. Look, this guy has a tendency to disrespect gang members because he couldn't make it. I couldn't make it either, eh? Or I chose not to make it, right? And I'm cool with that. I accept that, man. I accept that. I'm going to keep it pushing. And, you know, there's a lot of people that are like, Gun, why do you still show love to the Norteños or the Southsiders? I show love to everyone, man. They ain't never did nothing to me. Anything I did to myself my whole life. I would never allow another man to do something to me. That's not the type of character or the man I am. That's not the way I was raised. That's not the way mama raised me when she used to whip my ass with that belt. That's not the way my dad gave me game when he was in and out of prison. That's not the way my Theo, when he was in and out of the spoon, what he told me. I come from that life, from that livestock, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, the way I was taught is, hey, if you got it, you get it. If you don't, you don't, man. You know, hey, it's not going to make you or break you. Straight up. Don't be upset because, motherfucker, you couldn't play that day. You couldn't go outside and play with your friends. It just is what it is. Tomorrow's another fucking day, right? So that's the way I was raised. Jay seems different, man. He seems like his whole mission in life is to be Captain Save I don't know who, you know, and spreading false propaganda and disrespecting these gangs and trying to put jackets on them is seems weird to me. You know, you could tell your story like, hey, man, I wasn't ready to go, man. I got removed. I'm mad because I got removed, man. I'll never be fucking cool with that. You know, fuck these guys for doing that. This is that. Yeah, we respect that. But when you try to sit there, yeah, man, I was a shot caller. I ran every yard. You know what I mean? If that was the case, then why are you in the position you're in? If you were the man, if you were running everywhere you went, if you had that much respect and that much glitch on, that much game and all that. Listen, I listened to this guy talk, man. I've been around some politicking motherfuckers. I've been around some heavy hitters. Okay, I have in real life. Am I going to sit here and say I was the fucking ultimate mouthpiece? Nah, but I've been around some dudes that could spin your head up. They had game, right? And I'll tell you right now, myself, Jay, others, we're not them. At least I'll admit I'm not. You know, for this guy to say, oh man, I was a shot caller everywhere. Why? How? So you're trying to tell me, Jay, and everyone else, right? And I know, you know that I know, because we were once part of that same thing, right? But you're trying to tell me that everywhere you went, there wasn't other Ensos, there wasn't other bros, there wasn't other B's, hermanos, there was none of those ever? So you were the only one. So you always got put in position to be the overall, the AIC, or the fucking building channel, or whatever it is, right? You know, we don't want to go into too much details. You tell enough for everyone. You want me to believe that you bypassed all the homies from Sacra and from Salas and from Sanjo and from fucking the Mission and from fucking, you know, wherever else, Tulare County, but you're from Tulare County. But you want me to believe that you passed all them up? You had more status than them? Vatos that got pulled 20, 30 years ago? Nah, bro, stop it. So everyone just dropped everything as soon as you got there. And you were like, hey, everything's going to change now. I need all the dope forwarded to my cell. I need everybody's 128G, and I'm going to sniff everybody's asshole. That's what you want us to believe? The last part, maybe. The other two, I don't believe it, right? Look, Norteños don't get down like that. That's fake. And any real one would tell you, man, there is no squat and cough. You're not going to let another man do that to you, another gang member. You know, the convict cop code, that's different. That's just part of prison life. It's been like that forever. It's going to stay like that, right? You're not going to hit that yard. Yard's mandatory. You got to go out to that yard, and if they want to fucking look at your corn pot, they're going to do it before you go out to that yard. There's not a man on that yard when he's on that yard that didn't get violated before he went out there, and that's the unfortunate part. I know I was one of them. You go out there like motherfuckers sit here and talk all that tough shit, like, hey, what's up, homie? Like, bro, you just had another man look all the way into your fucking lung from a different direction. It happens, but this guy Jay to sit here and say, "Oh, the Norteños, man, that's how I did it." Maybe that's in your mind, that's what you wanted to do, but in real life, you didn't do that, bro. Now, like I said, the little quick search, all the mouth fucking behind the ears, yeah, we did do that, you know. But the squat and cough and the man, I had to make sure. Like, what were you gonna do if a knife fell out of his ass? Were you gonna get off? Were you gonna do something? Or were you going to go back to your cell, get high, write a wheeler, and send hitters on them because you wouldn't do it yourself? Let's be honest here. Anyone who's really been in a position of authority within the Norteño movement is not going to tell you the intricate details and the secrets until certain things. Even myself, who I'm going to sit here and say, look, I was never no shot caller on the yard. I'm not going to proclaim that. There were certain situations where if I seen bad things, man, if there was young homies that didn't know, I'd give them some game. And yes, I did hold fucking positions. There's not a Norteño that's been locked up that hasn't, right? Everyone gets a position once upon a time because guess what? They want to see what you do with it, how you conduct yourself if you have leadership qualities. But to sit here and lie to everyone and proclaim to be some shot caller, come on, bro. You don't have shot caller tendencies. You have different tendencies that I'm not going to fucking speak on because I'm not trying to disrespect. I'm just being real. So anyways, I just wanted to touch on that because I seen that video and it was one of the funniest things I've seen all year. I've seen a lot of different things and I've seen a lot of people hate and I've seen a lot of people laugh and a lot of people cry. And I'm not here to be a hater. Today's not hater day. That's not what I'm doing. Today's real day. And I'm just being real, man. You know, when you got to understand when you do content creation on YouTube, there's going to be someone that knows you. There's always going to be someone that's been there you're talking about or knows the people you're talking about. They're going to call you on your bullshit, man. And I'm going to call him on his bullshit right now. Stop trying to make these gangs look weird or bad, bro. If you got something against them, be straight up and say, hey, look, I don't like them. This is why. But stop trying to tell all their secrets or be the champion of some the voice of the voiceless or whatever you're trying to do. Because at the end of the day, bro, yeah, you got a lot of support. This is YouTube. Oh, man, I'm doing big things. You're not, bro, so what? I got a lot of support too, and I respect the people. But I'm never going to bullshit them. I'm going to tell them the truth, even if it makes me look a certain way or not, even if I have to apologize the next day, because that's what real men do, real ones do. You know, at the end of the day, we're all in the same position, bro. If you're on YouTube here, you know what I'm saying, you go to prison or jail, something bad's probably going to happen to you. You're going to at least get questioned on the content of your content, you know. So I don't know, man. If you want to be looking up people's assholes, I guess that's what you want to do. But damn, bro, you should have been a CO then. You should have been a CO instead of a DO. With that said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Again, no disrespect to J-Hands, but hey, we all got to hold each other accountable. Okay, no? Bang, bang.